Welcome, dear students. Today, we embark on an inspiring journey to understand the National War Memorial of India, a special place dedicated to the brave souls who sacrificed their lives to protect our motherland. Looking at the plaque and figure displayed on your screen, notice how the memorial is designed as 4 concentric circles, or chakras, each with its unique symbolism. At the heart stands a tall obelisk crowned with the Amar Jawan Jyoti, the eternal flame that burns without end. This flame represents the immortality of the soldier's spirit, a beautiful reminder that though their bodies may be gone, their bravery and sacrifice remain alive forever. The circle closest to the obelisk is the Amar Chakra, the circle of immortality. Surrounding that is the Virta Chakra, the circle of bravery, which houses bronze murals showing valiant battle scenes. The third circle, Tyag Chakra, or circle of sacrifice, features granite tablets inscribed with the names of our fallen heroes, a powerful symbol of history and honor. The outermost is the Raksha Chakra, the circle of protection, with trees signifying the soldiers guarding our nation's safety. Throughout this lecture, we will explore the meaning behind each chakra and the stories they tell. Now pause for 15 seconds and think. Why do you believe such symbolism of circles and flames is used to honor soldiers? Reflect on the power of these symbols in connecting us emotionally to their bravery. Let's delve deeper into the Amar Chakra, the innermost circle of the memorial, also called the Circle of Immortality. Looking again at figure, focus on the towering obelisk and the steady glow of the Amar Jawan Jyoti, the eternal flame burning relentlessly atop it. This represents the idea of immortality, meaning the spirit of our brave soldiers continues to live on, reminding us of their valor forever. There is a beautiful literary device here called symbolism, where the obelisk and flame represent concepts much larger than themselves: sacrifice, memory, and eternal honor. We can also think of personification. The flame seems alive, never dying, keeping vigil day and night. It's a moving tribute, assuring every visitor that these heroes' contributions will never be forgotten. Imagine visiting this spot and feeling the warmth and light, symbolic of hope and remembrance. Now pause for 20 seconds and think. How does the eternal flame make you feel about the idea of remembrance? Why might fire be a powerful symbol in many cultures and memorials? Moving outward from the Amar Chakra, we come to the Virta Chakra, the circle of bravery. This circle houses a covered gallery where 6 magnificent bronze murals narrate tales of heroic valor. Imagine murals, large artworks painted or sculpted on walls, that freeze moments of courage in time for all visitors to see. Here, the material bronze is meaningful. It's strong and enduring, much like the spirit of the soldiers whose stories it preserves. The author uses alliteration, repeating sounds in bravery and battle, which heightens the dramatic effect of these words. These murals visually transport us to the heat of battlefields and moments when soldiers face danger bravely. Think about how art can capture complex emotions like courage and fear, making us feel connected across time. Now pause for 20 seconds and consider. How does art like murals help in telling stories of bravery better than just words? Have you seen any murals or statues that impacted you deeply? Next, we visit the Tyag Chakra, the circle of sacrifice, standing as a solemn tribute to those who laid down their lives for our nation. Notice in figure how this circle features concentric walls covered with granite tablets. Each tablet, delicately inscribed in golden letters, bears the name of a fallen hero, creating a powerful mosaic of personal sacrifice. The circular design pays homage to the ancient war formation called Chakravyuh. a complex circular military strategy used in historic Indian epics. The circle here is more than shape. It is a metaphor, representing how our soldiers bravely faced and penetrated enemy lines in defense of the motherland. This evokes intense respect as we connect history and present sacrifices through symbolism. Imagine standing amidst these walls, feeling the weight of history and sacrifice. Take a moment now to pause for 20 seconds. Why do you think personal names etched in gold on stone have such a strong emotional impact? How does this form of memorial personalize the story of sacrifice? Finally, we reach the Raksha Chakra, the outermost circle of protection. Look again at figure to see the dense row of trees encircling the entire memorial. These trees are much more than greenery. They are synecdoche, a literary device where a part represents the whole. Here, each tree represents a soldier standing guard, maintaining constant vigilance over the nation's borders. This symbolism assures citizens of their safety and the protection of the country's territorial integrity, the inviolability of our land. Symbolism is a powerful literary device where objects stand for ideas larger than their physical forms. When you visit the memorial, these living symbols remind us all that protection is ongoing and rooted in life and nature itself. Now pause for 20 seconds. What emotions does this circle of protection evoke in you? Can trees symbolize more than just nature? Think about other examples where nature carries symbolic meaning. Now let's pull all these pieces together, appreciating the memorial as a whole. The 4 concentric chakras symbolize the life and legacy of a soldier, from Amar Chakra representing immortal spirit, through Verta Chakra's bravery, Tyag Chakra's sacrifice, to Raksha Chakra's protective vigil. This layout forms a symbolic journey, an architectural story combining history, heroism, and hope. Memorialization in literature and culture means to keep alive the memories of important people or events. Here, the design does just that with beautiful symbolism and powerful imagery. It honors not only individual soldiers, but also the collective soul of the nation's defense and gratitude. Think of it as a living poem, the memorial itself telling stories in stone, metal, flame, and living trees. Pause now for 15 seconds and imagine walking through these circles. How do you think such a journey through the memorial affects visitors emotionally and intellectually? Visitors to the National War Memorial often share powerful emotive experiences. Imagine yourself walking through the grand lawns of Kartavya Path and standing before the monument. The atmosphere is reverent, a mix of awe for the scale and beauty, sadness for the lives lost, heartening motivation to serve the nation, and immense pride in its defenders. Such sights nurture a personal bond. Many feel inspired to live lives worthy of these sacrifices. The lesson's author even mentions tears, testifying to the profound impact of facing history so vividly. This connects us to commemoration, not just remembering names, but recalling stories, sacrifices, and the price of freedom. Let's pause for 15 seconds. When have you experienced a place or moment that moved you emotionally and inspired you? Think about what made it special. Let's now turn to a real-life hero honored after the wars commemorated by the memorial. Major Padmapani Acharya. Figure on your screen is a visual tribute to this brave officer who served in the 1999 Kargil War, one of India's most challenging conflicts with Pakistan. Major Acharya belonged to the 2nd Battalion of the Rajputana Rifles, referred simply as 2 RAJRIF. He was posthumously awarded the Mahavir Chakra, the country's 2nd highest military honor, for his exceptional courage on the battlefield. Posthumously meaning the award was given after his death, a solemn reminder of sacrifice. The image shows his portrait in uniform and the medal, helping us form a personal connection with this heroic figure. The phrase, "lest we forget India," echoes throughout such tributes, urging us never to forget these heroes. Now pause for 20 seconds and think. How does seeing a soldier's photo and medal personalize their story compared to just reading about them? Reading the official citation from Extract, we uncover the dramatic and heroic tale of Major Acharya on 28 June 1999 during Operation Vijay. The author uses vivid imagery to describe the formidable enemy position, heavily fortified, mined, and covered with machine gun fire. Imagine the fear and chaos as the leading platoon faced this deadly assault, suffering heavy casualties. Yet, Major Acharya, with unwavering courage, rallied the reserve platoon and charged ahead despite intense artillery shells raining on them. Even after being severely injured, he refused to abandon his men, urging them forward while continuing to fire at the enemy. The alliteration in words like fierce fire and forcible fortification heightens the tension and heroism. Though he succumbed to his injuries, his leadership ensured mission success. Pause for 20 seconds and think, what qualities of leadership and sacrifice stand out to you in this citation? Why are such stories important to remember? An extraordinary part of Major Acharya's story is the letter he wrote before heading into battle, quoting the Bhagavad Gita, the sacred Hindu scripture. Figure displays the original Sanskrit verse 2.37 alongside its transliteration and English translation. The verse beautifully captures the warrior's mindset. Whether slain on the battlefield or victorious, one must rise with firm determination to do one's duty. This message teaches dharma, moral responsibility, and detachment from fear of death. Read aloud slowly with me from poem. If you fight, you will either be slain on the battlefield and go to the celestial abodes, or you will gain victory and enjoy the kingdom on earth. Therefore arise with determination, O son of Kunti, and be prepared to fight. Notice the weight and courage embedded in these words. Now pause for 20 seconds and reflect. How does this verse give meaning and strength in difficult times? Can it apply beyond battlefields to challenges in our daily lives? Soumya's heartfelt letter, as seen in Extract, invites us into the personal, emotional landscape that a visit to the National War Memorial creates. Imagine spending an entire day immersed in the solemn surroundings, majestic lawns and grand monuments silently reminding us of the huge sacrifices made for freedom. She writes about feeling a deep bond with the place and even shedding tears, emotions reflecting empathy and respect. These experiences sparked her motivation to live a life worthy of the sacrifices made. Soumya's decision to share these stories in her school assembly shows how powerful personal reflections can inspire collective remembrance and learning. Now pause for 15 seconds and think. Have you ever felt inspired to share an experience or story that moved you deeply? Why is sharing important? Following their inspiring visit, Soumya's class decided to dive deeper by researching martyr stories, dividing into 5 groups, each focusing on a brave hero. Soumya chose to present on Major Padmapani Acharya, eager to share his courage and sacrifice with her schoolmates. This collaborative learning initiative encourages both creative expression and critical thinking, enabling students to connect history with personal storytelling. Presenting such stories in school assemblies creates awareness, fosters respect, and can even inspire others to contemplate service and valor. Such school projects transform passive learning into active engagement with literature, history, and real life. Take a moment to pause for 15 seconds. How can sharing stories of bravery affect a school or community? What might you learn by preparing such a presentation? Turning now to poetic tribute, The famous poem Prepzy.ai by Makanlal Chaturvedi uses a flower as a metaphor to express the longing to sacrifice for the motherland. Looking at figure, you see the poem written in Romanized Hindi and Hindi script. The flower says it does not desire to be entangled in jewels or garlands, but wants to be plucked and cast on the path where brave warriors walk to lay their heads for the country. This poem uses symbolism, where the flower stands for a soul longing to serve selflessly. It also uses metaphor to connect nature with patriotism. Reading aloud with feeling enhances appreciation. Notice the repeated phrase, chah nahi, emphasizing what the flower rejects to highlight its noble desire. Pause now for 20 seconds. What feelings does the flower's wish evoke? How does this metaphor deepen our understanding of patriotism? Let's pause to check your understanding with some important questions from the lesson. Exercise. Question 1. Where is the National War Memorial and why is it significant? Think about it for 15 seconds. The memorial is located in New Delhi and stands as a tribute to soldiers who sacrificed for our freedom. Question 2. What is the highest gallantry award? The answer is the Param Veer Chakra, while Major Acharya received the Mahavir Chakra, the second highest. Question 3. What do the walls of chakras portray? Reflect on the 4 ideals of immortality, bravery, sacrifice, and protection. Finally, question 4 asks you to find text that evokes specific feelings like wonder, pride, and sadness. For example, the phrase, "Isn't it amazing?" shows wonder, and Sumya's heartfelt reflections show motivation. Remembering these feelings helps us connect emotionally to the stories we learn. Remember, understanding vocabulary like gallantry and martyr deepens your appreciation. Pause now for 20 seconds and see if you can answer these questions in your mind. As we conclude our journey, it's time to engage in creative expression. Activity encourages you to compose your own tribute poem or letter dedicated to brave soldiers or a memorial that inspires you. Use at least 2 literary devices such as metaphor, comparing one thing to another to deepen meaning, or alliteration, the repetition of consonant sounds to create musicality. Reflect on themes of sacrifice, courage, and protection, as we saw in Prepzy.ai and the inspiring story of Major Acharya. Here is a sample poem to inspire you. O flame eternal, burning bright, you guide our souls through darkest night. With grateful hearts, we honor thee. Writing helps us express emotions beyond facts, building connection and understanding. Before you begin, pause for 20 seconds to imagine the feelings you want to convey in your tribute. Then let your pen flow. Remember, your words can honor, inspire, and keep the memories alive.